This computer. Hello, Tessa. Welcome in. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. So, what brings
Good.
you?
Well, I'm just really struggling with, as we've talked about before, my OCD
Hmm.
and kind of being a type A person. And so
Hmm.
I think those two kind of hand in hand don't really go well together,
Yeah, for
because I
sure.
am so type A.
Hmm.
But then I have OCD on top of that. So I feel like I'm even more type A and like more strict. So I'm just really struggling with like different ways of kind of working with not myself, but like other people and like not getting frustrated with them when things don't necessarily go, I guess, the way that I had it in my brain.
Hmm.
So I just was kind of hoping that we could talk about that or something.
Yeah, for sure. I know in our last session together, we talked about maybe integrating ACT, um,
Yeah.
which was assessment and commitment therapies into our sessions. So we could start that today if that you're still interested.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I want to learn about. We weren't able to get too into it last session, but I would love to know more about it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it would help a lot with kind of what you're talking about with like figuring out how to like emotionally regulate better and like deal with those OCD tendencies that are popping up for you as well. So, for a quick little like blurb or like if I'm like a doorman seller, basically ACT is just kind of it works on building the client's I forget what the word is right now, but it is the psychological flexibility, which is just being able to emotionally regulate and like calm yourself down. This is usually through like mindfulness practices and making sure that your actions and like things that you're doing in your day is like reaching towards your values and your goals. So I guess to start, we could kind of just start with like talking about what do you think are your values?
It's a good question. I guess I've never really thought about that. Are you talking just like values like in other people, values like in myself, or just like values, I guess, both of those?
Yeah, I would say a little mix of both. I mean, you can take it wherever you want. I mean, I know for personally, for example, like my family has values, so I tend to like think of those first, but also you can think about like what kind of values do you like in like a partner or a friend?
Okay. Yeah. I guess like family based or just like the way I was raised was, you know, treating people with respect and, you know, c- open communication is the best communication, but which is something that I struggle with because I have the tendencies of being more type A and more um, OCD tendencies. So I struggle with that kind of. Um, but yeah, like respect and like loyalty, um, compassion, I guess all of those like characteristics. Um, and a partner, I guess like the value of like understanding or being able to like understand
Hmm.
kind of what I'm going through, especially with like the OCD. Like I feel like it's really important for me for my partner to understand like these are things that I can't really just like have go away. They're like a part of me.
Hmm.
Um, so the understanding part, but also the what's the word? Not taking things slow, but just the patience. There we
Okay.
go. That's the
Okay,
word
I see.
patience.
Yeah.
Being patient,
Mhm.
because I've told you, like I said, like I get really frustrated when things don't go my way or like they don't go the way that I was planning, that they have patience to understand, like, okay, I know this is not how you meant to come off.
Mhm.
So that's something. Those are a few things that I value.
For sure. Do you kind of, I know personally for myself, when I like think of partners or friends that I like the values like patience and honesty and some of the things that you listed, do you feel that it's important for yourself to also kind of like do that yourself?
Yes. I find myself like if I'm in the moment of like frustration that I don't have any patience. Like I am just like I feel like my fuse is really short
Mm.
and I just am like 0 to 100 really frustrated.
Mm.
Uh, but once I've kind of, I don't know if episode's the right word, but once I'm kind of done like having that reaction, then I have to like I have to be more patient because and not everything is going to go exactly the way I want it to,
Yeah,
but like in that moment of frustration, that those thoughts are not there at all.
yeah. So are you like kind of hoping to like be able to emotionally regulate a little bit better in the future so you can be more patient in the moment?
Yeah, I
So
think I think that's exactly it. I think I just struggle getting there.
yeah, no, for sure. I was just trying to make sure that I was understanding everything
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, I think ACT is like a great way to do that. I mean, there's some mindfulness practices, it's like a big foundation of it as well, where it's like that helps you kind of ground yourself. It helps some, but it helps like ground yourself and yeah, and just being present in your emotions. And it sounds like you're very in tune with your emotions or negative and positive emotions, as well as what you like to see in others and yourself as well. So it sounds like you've done a lot of the work already. So that's great. Have you experienced or practiced mindfulness in the past, or how does that look for you?
Um, yes and no. I
Mhm.
think when I think of mindfulness, I think of more of like I am sitting quietly and I am, like
Yeah.
the ambiance is more relaxed. I think
Yeah.
that's what I think of. I've tried doing it in like other classes, like professors or, my family is kind of into like the mindfulness.
Mhm.
Um, so I've practiced the more, I guess, like stereotype of like meditation, mindfulness. Uh,
Hmm. Like
but
meditation and
yeah, I've never really
yeah.
practiced it like with myself.
Okay.
Uh, I'm worried that it's going to make me more upset, but
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
at least what you're saying, it sounds like it works for some, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's not like a one shoes fits all size type of
Right.
ordeal. But I mean, there's lots of mindfulness practices out there that we can explore together and see kind of what clicks. I know like myself, like the type of mindfulness where it's like yoga or that type of stuff doesn't really click with me. It's like too it just doesn't click, and it doesn't always
Yeah.
for everyone. But there's definitely quick little practices that you can throw in there when you're feeling those like um heightened emotions like you were mentioning before, like feeling irritated and like people aren't doing the things that you like to see them do?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm trying to think of like a good little start. Is there anything that you've heard out there that you're curious and like working through? Any mindfulness, or I could recommend some too.
Yeah. I guess it's just, I think I really struggle with like the getting there to the point where I could have that like clear conscious of like, okay, this would be a good time for me to be mindful of like, my body or my feelings or whatever it is. So I think I just struggle with trying to get to that point of like my clear mind to be able to recognize that I do need to do mindfulness. So I
Mhm.
guess maybe there's mindfulness for the mindfulness. I don't really know if that's a thing.
No, I get what you mean.
But I guess what are the things that like you would recommend?
I mean, something that you kind of just pointed out is that it's hard to know when to do mindfulness.
Right.
Whereas, like, I think the common understanding is that mindfulness should be when you're feeling really anxious or like angry or your emotions are like at the peak. You're going to use mindfulness to like lower you down to the like, your daily level, like normal functioning. But
Yeah.
I through my experience and some experience that I've heard out there as well is that it's good to practice mindfulness when you're kind of at that low stable point so your body can recognize, oh, this is what I should feel like when I'm doing this practice.
Okay. I guess that would make sense. Just like practicing that. I guess what would that look like? And not in the sense of like the stereotype, like this
Yeah.
is what mindfulness, I guess what would that look like in the sense of understanding when a good time to do it is or practice?
Yeah, I mean, you could do it before bed. Like that helps sometimes, like as you're kind of getting your body's like shutting down a little bit, you're relaxed. You can kind of do it when you're in bed, but sometimes bed's is stressful. I know for myself, sometimes I'll lay down and I'll be anxious because I'm like, I need to go bed now. Like I can't be doing
Right.
mindfulness. So I
Yeah.
kind of just feel it out. When do you think you're at the most calm throughout your day?
I think driving in my car is when I've kind of found that like that's my time to like be by myself.
Yeah.
Um and I'm not like, having to like entertain somebody or, having to be on the phone.
Yeah.
So that's where I find the most peace because I'm kind of the same way like
Hmm.
my bed like right before I go to bed or like right before like I eat or you
Yeah.
know I feel very overwhelmed, like I should be asleep, and then my brain starts going, and then
Yeah,
I end up not being able to sleep. So,
for
yeah,
sure.
I would say my car.
Do you listen to music in your car often, or are you kind of a silent driver?
Um, I definitely am I have to listen to music.
Okay.
Um, I just worry that maybe the music would distract me, or maybe that would be more calming for me. That's something that I've never tried. Um, but yeah.
I mean, you could definitely listen to, I mean, if you're like that audio stimuli while you're driving, it can definitely be incorporated into mindfulness for sure. I mean, I'm not super up to date, so this could be a good chance for you to research as well as your on your own time as well. But yeah, almost certain that there's definitely some mindfulness practices where you can listen to music, maybe like focusing on like the beat instead of the lyrics or vice versa. I know I'm like a music listener instead of lyrics,
Mhm.
so maybe try to
Mhm.
do the opposite, be more mindful of that. Could be helpful.
Cool. Yeah, I guess I listen to more music that has lyrics. So
Okay.
I could try the no music, no lyrics, just like instrumental
Yeah.
um, during
Well,
like my
it can
drive.
have lyrics, and you just kind of just try to focus more on the beat, like Taylor
Hmm.
Swift, for example. Like I know that's very lyric heavy, but there's like instruments in the background. You could be like, is that
Right.
a guitar or is that violin? Like, yeah, well, I know
Hmm.
that, I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, that could be some homework for you is to kind of go on the web. I just sounded like 50 years old, but go on the internet and research some things out there.
Yeah, I guess when I'm practicing this mindfulness, like what should I be looking for? Like, yeah.
I think a little trial and error situation, like try get I'm trying to think of the word. Get like build a toolbox, and
Hmm.
you don't want to just put a hammer in there and that's all you have
Right.
because what if you run into screws or what if you run into staples? I don't know. But you get it. I'm not good with tools. But basically, you want to have a lot of different practices in there so you can kind of pull and choose when they work and apply. So I guess try to find a variety that you think
Okay.
is helpful. I mean, you're pretty calm in the car, but maybe you can try to find other areas that you can incorporate these practices into. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think that would definitely be helpful. I think a good first step would to just try it, I think, in my car, and getting to that point of, okay, this is how I'm calm, or this is what it looks like when I'm calm. Um, so I think I'll try that and see what that does. I guess I'm a little worried with like because of like my OCD tendencies, but maybe the mindfulness will kind of like
Yeah.
also calm that down.
Mhm.
But I think, like you said, I'll have to do a trial and error
Yeah.
situation.
And like in our next session, we can go more into the other aspects of ACT, but this is kind of just like the beginning of it, we're supposed to kind of just feel it out. Let's just taste it, I guess, like taste try these different
Yeah.
practices. And I mean, it doesn't work for everyone, so we can definitely re like what's the word? We can come back to this
Hmm.
conversation and see if ACT really works. And if not, there's CBT, there's a bunch of different practices that we can dive into as well.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm gonna go try those and hopefully I'll have good news by the time I see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a good
You're
one.
welcome.